Before we begin, welcome back, Raichu Overlord Ben, to the Patreon campaign over at patreon.com/TJOmega. Thank you very much for coming back. And thank you everyone for the support. You literally have no idea how much you are helping me out. And I literally, I thank you guys almost every episode. I still cannot thank you guys enough. That is how much you are helping me out right now. So thank you for the support. You keep it up and I will keep this up as long as I can. So, we're here back at the toy store, and this is basically a show-off episode. This is me basically just showing you just like how cool the stuff comes in and what's cool to me. Okay? So, to some people, the $600 Funko Pop that we have in this case over here, that's super cool. Not so much to me. I respect the Funko Pop, though I do not entirely revolve around the Funko Pop like some. I can get excited for certain ones, but like there's no like, oh wow, that's such a rare piece. There's nothing like that in the realm of Funko. But for me, but I will let you have your thing. No, it's like anything else. It's what hits me in my personal mental home, and the stuff that I grew up with or just am like deeply attached to. So I just have like a pile here of some of the things that some of it came in recently, some of it you've seen in other videos if you follow Toy Story Life. But all of it is the kind of stuff that just kind of makes me go, ooh, we have that now. Like that's cool. And it starts with, this boy, and I showed you this one in a past episode, but it's worth showing off again now. And it is, uh, I have actual Gokaiger toys in store. Gojujin. We have a few others as well, but like Gojujin I think is like a super solid toy on his own. Like this is a really nice piece of play thing. Like, and one of the things that I really kind of regret selling, but I don't have anywhere for it to go in my life if I bought it again. But I love having it. Like I'm filming at what is essentially my work desk. This is where I just kind of like, this is my headquarters where my laptop is. This is where I do all the pricing and all the research for the shop, all the social media stuff. But right to my right, your left, is just this little wall of the stuff that makes me happy, and it's Gokaiger toys, a little bit of rare Power Rangers, and something we just added to the list just because I think it's interesting, an SH Figuart Ultraman from the Netflix animated series. No idea how someone came about this in my neck of the woods, but I'm not complaining. But that hits into the realm of stuff that I'm into now. The stuff that that's the stuff that like I would buy for myself because I'm still like deep into it just so I could play around with it. The second group is, how did you keep something this old in such good shape? Which you've probably noticed in this video already. So we got in a few vintage Star Wars vehicles recently. A lot of them need cleaning up. An old X-Wing, a Land Speeder, a TIE Fighter. All of them mostly complete. All of them with still working gears and springs. All still impressive. And then we got this baby. The original Slave One. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Disney. We can't call it that anymore. So, this Boba Fett spaceship is the original release. It needs stickers, obviously, so it's a little drab looking, but it's all there. And when I say all there, like this door compartment comes off. This rampway slides down. The Han and Carbonite is still in it. That's the part that everyone got lost. And this one still has it. So this is a super pretty piece. Like this I love showing off. Because there's some things in here where you don't even want to sell it. You just want to keep it just so you can tell people the story and just so people can go, ooh, ah. And I think that's a pretty good ooh, ah right now when everyone is Boba Fett and Mandalorian nuts. So that is the realm of, oh my god, it's that old. How does it still exist in this condition? And we got a few pieces like that. Like I've showed you in the past, we have a original carded Vader from Empire Strikes Back. 40 plus year old toy still on card. Probably the most expensive individual item we have in the store, now that I think of it. And how could it not be when it's, when it's that? So that's realm number 2. Realm number 3, in my personal favorite realm, is the stuff that I personally grew up with and things I'm a huge fan of. And some of it is obvious. I'm a 90s kid, so some of it's obvious, like, classic on-card Ninja Turtles. This is not the original release. This is a storage shell Ninja Turtle, which meant the back shell opened up and you could store weapons inside it. Not every weapon. I think Leonardo's swords are actually too long to fit inside. But it lets you keep a hold of a lot of those tiny little accessories, the pizzas and the throwing stars, the kind of stuff that was very easy to lose. So this is actually a good, clever solution to that problem. This is one of those gimmicks a lot of modern Ninja Turtle figures picked up on. Same as like the mutation, like transforming turtles. Even the ones that they released in, God, which one was it? In the 2000s series. I think even in the Nickelodeon, the first Nickelodeon series. They did storage shelters or basically just resculpts of the 90s ones because they did it so well. Love this stuff. Love this stuff. The one that came in recently that was so trippy to me because as soon as I saw it, like, this is where I kind of geek out and go, oh my god. Stuff like this. This is the Incredible Crash Dummies. Now, okay, so I'm aware how young some of my audience is. Let me explain. So back in the, I want to say early 80s, it was still a really weird thing it was still really hard to get people to actually fasten their seatbelts. Today it's, common sense. Back then, when they were first enforcing laws for it, nobody wanted to be told what to do in their own car. So as an advertising campaign, they showed what would happen to crash test dummies who were in wrecks. And it was like horrific without being bloody. And they made them into like actual characters. The ones in the I want to say Larry and Daryl were the ones in the commercials. And then they adapted it into a cartoon starring Slick and Spin, 2 new characters. The cartoon only aired a few times on Fox Kids, and it was only 1 episode. But for whatever reason, it's stuck in my head for a long time because it's better than it had any right to be, really. And these were so much fun because they are meant to explode. You hit those buttons on the chest, and the arms and head and the legs all fly off. They had vehicle toys you could see on the back. You could crash the motorcycles. You could crash the cars. And the cars would fly apart. And they'd hit the cars when they crashed would hit the buttons. So the dummies would fly apart. So you had toys you could wreck into each other and just stuff flew everywhere. It was so much fun. You don't do toys like that anymore. Too many small parts. Too many things get lost. Or too many choking hazards for whatever reason. But they just don't. They don't do toys like this anymore, and it's a shame. And when I say 90s toys hit different, I literally mean that when it comes to the Crash Dummies. Here is a dog and a cat you can run over. Look at, there's a tire track on the cat. And the whole idea was to flatten them out so it looked like something ran them over. They're not real dogs and cats. It's not promoting animal cruelty. They're test dummies just like the dummies there are. But that was something they sold in the 90s. PETA would end Tycho for making this today. And that's not even, I didn't even bring the worst one. Time. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, you ready for this? You ready for this? They made a baby. There's a Crash baby. Crash this baby into things. Ram this baby into things. This was a toy. You wonder why 90s kids are messed up. I don't even think the baby flies apart. It's just a stroller with an ejection seat. This this is what I had to play with. If there's anything mentally wrong with me. But it's such a fun toy line. In the end, it's such a fun toy line. Check this out. This is what I had as a kid. This is how I watched that one episode. You can find it on YouTube now. Go search it out. It's actually pretty well written, considering it's just like a 22-minute promo. And yeah, this is back when you actually got a VHS with your figures. Kids, a VHS is a big plastic brick that only holds one episode of your favorite TV show. And then when you were done watching it, you had to rewind it or else you wouldn't be able to watch it again. Different times. Tech has grown very quickly. But this brought back so many nostalgia vibes for me. This is one of those where it's like, can I take things out of stock? Is that like a faux pas? You know, can I not buy things for myself out of our own stock? That kind of stuff. And then we got this. We got this. Check this out. The original Mark Hamill Joker. We got in a stack of Batman the Animated Series toys. This is the kind of thing I don't think we are allowed to call ourselves a retro toy store if we don't have things like this. This is beautiful. This is glorious. I love having stuff like this. We got a Castle Grayskull too. You see that little green blob? See a little green blob? I can't drag it over here because it's too big, but that's a Castle Grayskull. That's the 2002 He-Man series Grayskull. I still need a few parts for it. The turret's missing, and like the tower attached to said turret is missing, so like that side of the castle needs its parts. But it's got all the weapon parts, which are the things that are more easily lost. It's still got its old stickers that haven't been applied yet. So it's mostly in good shape. Still need to track down a few parts. If anyone can give me a leg up on that, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, that's the kind of thing where I don't think we can call ourselves a classic toy store if we don't have a Castle Grayskull. So there we have a Castle Grayskull at long last. We also have this going on the Batman animated series stuff. Now, I loved the 90s Batman stuff, like not like the crazy neon colors, but like my favorite Batman as a kid was like mostly looked like Batman, but in kind of a camo job, and they gave him this gold and black wing pack. They could snap onto him like armor, and I thought it was the coolest little kit and accessory. I had the Arctic Batman too. So that's where my head has been. I've been dying to get that kind of stuff in, like the 90s style action figures that, you know, is like the retro right now. And among the Batman figures, we got some of these. This was amazing to see. That is Harley Quinn, her very first action figure, right there. Back before she was anything. Like right now, Harley's got her own live action movies. She's got her own, you know, her own animated series. You know, she is one of the four pillars of DC. She is, you know, up there with Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. She is, in some cases, more marketable than they are. To the point where, yes, like she's broken into the top echelon of characters. And good for her, because she debuted in the animated series in the 90s. And this is the first time you got to own her. Brilliant. Absolutely love having that. So, like, when I talk like the stuff that we get in that makes me go, ooh, I want that in this store. That's the kind of level we're talking about. And of course, this hits on personal nostalgia. You know, like Crash Test Dummies I go on about just because I love them so much. But it is admittedly an obscure line. You know, literally only one episode of the cartoon exists. It was like it's like a seasonal action figure line. They put it out, it's there for 3 months on clearance for another 3 months, and then you never see it again. And that's just kind of how a lot of toy lines go. So the fact that we have it in now, and I need to find a spot to display it on, is like, weirdly enough, it's the kind of thing that gets me excited to work here, because like I get to play around with my toy store the same way people play around with like their Minecraft town or this, or like The Sims. Like, just drop things in and see what happens. Like, that's it for me. This is my own personal Sims, or I just get to control everything. And when stuff like this that hits home for me comes in, this makes me so happy to be here. So I hope you are happy to be here today, as I basically just ranted about the kind of stuff that I love seeing in this store. But you know what? Hey, I think it's cool stuff. I think that is perfectly justified. And sometimes, when you are working a shop like this is the kind of thing you need. Just kind of spice up your day and just make you feel even better about coming through here. Because, like, walking into the shop knowing we got these, just waiting for the right person who's going to geek out over them like I geek out over them, happened once today already. That gets me excited to see that kind of response. The same response I had when I saw them, they get to have. And they get more excited because they get to walk out with it. That's a good feeling, and that is a cool moment for me. And that is the toy store life. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.